Hello, beautiful people. Honest Am here, the creator and writer of the Honestly Sis newsletter, a bi-weekly newsletter geared towards millennials who are truly trying to get their shit together. And I am here for another daily motivational video where we use the tarot to become the alchemist of our lives. A little bit about me. I do not use the tarot. I use God and cusses in the same sentence. And I may mispronounce some things, but if it does not stop Charlemagne and God, it will not stop me. So guys, as you can see, I'm not my normal, upbeat self, angel number 27. But I still felt like it was necessary to do a video because if God is telling me to do a video, regardless of how I feel. And since I am a little bit of low energy, I am going to do a video for myself personally. And hopefully this will help you as well. If you watch these videos a lot, I would recommend going ahead and getting your tarot deck. Because this is how you can learn how to speak to God and speak to your higher self. So this is not going to be your typical video, but I do hope that it bless you as well. To learn more about me, honestlysis.com, all of that information is down in the description box below. Please make sure you check out the description box below because there are always additional information, angel messages, as well as additional resources to further help you understand this message. All right, let's get into it. God, what message? God, how do we believe in the impossible? How do we believe in the impossible when everything around us is telling us that it's not? How do we trust the information on the inside and not allow external factors to scare us or to make us second guess ourselves? How can we just have trust when we haven't known how to trust before, when our parents and the world has let us down before? How can we believe in the impossible, God? I ask that you deliver these messages to me and through me as clear as possible. If any of my viewers, ancestors, guardian angels, or angel light like to come in, know that they are more than welcome. But God, today we are asking you, God, how do we believe in the impossible? How do we trust the plans that you have put on our heart, God? In God's name I pray. Two cards, please. How do we believe in the impossible? Two cards, please. How do we believe in the impossible? How do we believe in the impossible? Thank you. So I asked God, I asked God, how do we believe in the impossible? And the two cards that came out is inspiration. There's an angel sitting at a desk or sitting at their easel painting the sunset. And I don't know where I've heard this before, but I've heard that inspiration is like insight from spirit, it's something about the way that it's spelled. You can kind of see it a little bit. Spirit is in there, but it's like, for a long time I wondered, where does inspiration come from? Angel number 329, when you get those moments of when you're just bursting with joy and energy, and you feel like, you see that clear vision and you see it so clear, where does that come from? And earlier in this year, God showed me that those moments of inspiration, they come from God. A really quick exercise that we can do is tell your hand to raise. You tell your hand to raise, your hand raised. Put your hand down, you put your hand down. The same thing, we're all in the body of God. We're all just one. So when you get those moments of inspirations, when you get those downloads, that's coming from God. And I feel like what God is saying is there has to be this willingness with these angels just sitting here doing the work. And God has been giving us this message over and over. Just do the work. Just do the work. And I know that it's hard to think that it's that easy, that simple as just put your head down, do the work, follow through on this inspiration and nudges. But I think that's the only way that you can see if these dreams are possible, is just by seeing them through. Because if it takes for you to see it all out, for you to make a first step, you got to have a perfect plan, and you're never going to take that first step. I think that's why they say faith is, taking that first step without seeing a staircase. And I feel like what God is saying is that we have to be like a car on a foggy road, and we just have to do that first that step. We only got to get from the one point to the next of what God gave for us. So to break that down in a simple term, if for me, God told me to create a book and this book will be my outlet, then every day I should be doing something to work towards that book. Now, angel number 534, I don't know whether I say I chose or God chose, but there's other things that I have to do or that I feel like I've been tasked to do from God, i.e. this channel, i.e. Honestly Sis. And so it's this trifecta, these three things that if I'm having moments of doubt, I have to look back on those things and ask myself, have I done what God told me to do? And angel number 602, it hasn't. I think the frustration I know for me is that I feel like I should be done with the book already. Like 7 drafts. I just finished reading that 7th draft. And though I felt so good reading that draft and it was good, like I was really proud of it, it's not there yet. If I'm being honest, I'm about 50% there. Like it's not there yet. And 50 is being nice. 50 to 40% there. And so it's like, I'm frustrated because I have to go back in. I have to do it again. Like yesterday, I cried because I was like, God, I just want peace in my life. Angel number 650. And my job is just not peace. Like it's just literally the definition of chaos. And I've kind of gotten to this point where I'm just like, this job is no longer vibes with me. Like nothing about this job feels like it's in alignment with who I am anymore. But yet I'm here. And I realize I'm still here because of the book. I haven't finished the book. But it's like, yesterday, what I realized was when in those moments of frustration, where I really was like, I don't want to do shit. When I did just a little bit, I started doing some stuff for my book. I started working on the outline to go back in for draft 8. It made me feel better. By the end of the day, I was writing stuff and I was thinking about it and I got back excited about the book again. And I realized why I'm at this job that is not fulfilling. I realized why, though this is the worst job in the world, it's actually the best job in the world, The other day, I told you guys I've been really trying to work on angel number 808, my body. Because, it's all about having the mind, body, spirit. And so it's something that, I don't know, I just have this thing in my brain when certain people say do something. And when I say certain people, I mean like people I really admire. So like the Jay-Z's, the Beyoncé's, the Drakes, the Rihanna's, the LeBrons of the world. I'm inspired by greatness, because I want to be great. But it was like I watched the Shop, and it felt like I've watched the Shop like 2 times, and I'm low-key about to watch it a 3rd time today, angel number 846. But it was like one moment that I was watching it, and it felt like I was in the kitchen, and it was like playing, and it felt like Jay was like low-key talking to me, like, you just got to stay focused, you got to have a team, you're gonna get there, it's all gonna happen. But anyways, so LeBron said something about, drinking a gallon of water a day. Angel number 909. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to drink a gallon of water a day. And at first I used to feel like it was so impossible to drink a gallon of water a day. I'm like, how is it possible to drink a gallon of water a day? And then I got my gallon of water, and Tuesday, June 1st, I drank a gallon of water. And it wasn't even as hard as I thought it was going to be. And then the next day, when I wasn't feeling my best, I drank more than a half a gallon of water. And so what I realized is when you shoot to do the impossible, everything is impossible until you do it. And I feel like that's what God is saying. This dream that you have of yours, it feels so impossible because you're thinking about all the steps that it's going to take, all the things that have to fall in line. You're feeling like you're running out of time, and that's our ego. My ego didn't want me to get on here. My ego was like, I ain't feeling it. I don't want to do these messages. But my soul, like, you know, we have you know you have to do it, because I was listening to a message, the message today that was, you know, "Real girl, do you really trust him?" And like, the message, it was just so, it was in my head, and I kept thinking about it over and over, and I felt like it was God. You know, I was talking to y'all, but it really ended up talking to myself. Like, well, do I really trust him? Like, he's shown me all these things. He, you know, especially I think about the things that I want, and I'm like, I didn't want this. You know, like, I wasn't even thinking like this. Angel number 1046. But God put it on my heart. And now I can't, you know, I can't help but to think about it. And I find myself frustrated because it was like, I'm going to tell you this last story, and then I'm going to pull some cards. The other day, I was, you know, on my Twitter, Angel number 1111, and I, you know, of course, I follow different readers, I follow different mediums, whatever. And like, it was this one medium I've been following for a while, and I feel a kindred spirit from this person. And you know, they do these like channelings every night or whatever. And what was it, yesterday, whatever, this week, it was the first time where it was like, you know, channeling at 11:30. And then he said another tweet was like, if you're wearing these colors, then this message is especially important for you. Make sure you stay tuned. Angel number 1152. And so I'm like, it was maroon. And I'm like, maroon is such and I literally had maroon on. I have a picture of it. And I was just like, that's such a fucking specific ass color. And it was funny because I wasn't going to put this on, but something told me to put it on. And so it was like, I was really excited because I'm like, damn, this is the first time where I really can feel, you know, like I see God and spirit working, not just within my own, I guess, like within my own framework and my own thought process. So at first I was going to stay up for the message because I was like really excited. I really wanted to know what it was, but I ended up falling asleep. And then I woke up. And, oh yeah, this happened yesterday. I woke up and the message, though it was a good message, it wasn't the message that I was looking for. And in the message, it said, stop searching for answers outside yourself. And I'm getting emotional because it's like... It's like I do, and it's like I feel like I have to be transparent with y'all because I want y'all to know, just because I have these videos on here and I'm confident when I'm speaking to you guys, I'm on this journey as well. Like I'm actively trying to do this with you guys. Like it's like, again, it's one thing about knowing it. It's another thing to live this life out. And I'm a baby spirit, you know, like I'm learning how to do this. I'm learning how to trust, and I'm learning how to just, you know, just trust myself. And it's hard. Like, it's so hard to trust God, but it is literally the only way that all this stuff is going to happen. Like, if we just trust. The other day I was again looking at this, like my little to listen list, and I had put up this thing about the Akashic records, and you know, I did my little timestamp and I selected the video, and pretty much she was like, you're trying to figure out what to do and there's nothing for you to do. Your whole journey is in surrendering. The way that you step into your power, angel number 1427, is to surrender and to trust. And I was just like, she's like, I know you don't want to hear that. And I'm like, I don't want to fucking hear that. Like, I don't want to hear it. But it's like, I have like really looked at myself, and I looked in the mirror, and I looked at my shadow self, and I've done the work, and I've put out a plan, and I've worked towards that plan. And The only thing, every time I keep coming back to God, being like, well, how do I do it, God? How do I trust you? And he just like, just trust and do the work. And so I know that was a long way to go around to just say trust and do the work, but I really feel like that's what God requires of us. That is how you make the impossible possible. Is that you get the inspiration, you have a willingness to follow through on the inspiration, and you trust that God is going to follow through. It's so simple that I want to complicate it. We want to complicate it, but maybe there's nothing to complicate. All right, angel number 1534. So I'm actually going to go ahead and go to our chakra tarot deck and just see, God, what is blocking us from having the willingness to follow through on these inspirations, God? What's blocking us from believing in the impossible? How do we bring these dreams about, God? It's hard being a fucking human, God. Jesus, if you can step in and share some insight on how to fucking walk this journey. It's so difficult. Like, and that's why I get so frustrated with the church, because this is the shit that they need to be talking about. You know, like, how do you live a spiritual life? You know, like, how the fuck do I do it? You know, how do I step into my God-given potential and allow my flesh and my emotions? I'm sorry, y'all. I know that, yeah, I know I'm not probably who y'all want me to be today, but I'm human. I'm very human. Too fucking human. Sometimes, like, I'm human and I'm trying, you know, I'm trying, y'all. It's so frustrating. It's so hard. I don't know. I just like, but I guess that's what you have to do, right? You just got to just keep trying, right? Okay. I'm sorry, I'm sorry I'm getting so emotional. So for willingness and inspiration, impartiality came out. Angel number 17, 28. I'm sorry. I'm crying, but I'm crying because I'm like, I hear him just get like, just trust me, please, just trust me. I feel you, I feel your pain, but just trust me. So I'm so sorry, y'all. Like, I really don't want to be crying like this, but hold on. Okay. Shit. Okay. Embrace, look, and because we're recovering our spiritual self. We're recovering all these parts of ourselves. You know, this world wants us to feel like it is weak to show emotion and shit. Sometimes I be feeling like, well, why am I getting that vulnerable? I don't want them to see that side of me. But God is like, they have to see. They need to see all of your journey. They need to see every part of it. Because there's going to be times when somebody is going to come across this video and they're going to be feeling like me. You know? And so they need to know how to get through. It's not always about me. And I'm trying to just constantly pull myself to the side and be like, it's not always about me. It's about showing up and doing the work, which is what God is saying at the end of the day. Embrace the spirit of universal consciousness. In the seventh chakra, the crown chakra, we reach the place of universal consciousness, which is outside our physical body. You may notice that these cards represent some aspects of our collective being. The idea here is that we vibrate through our seventh chakra, and in a powerful way, it helps us to connect to our humanity. The cards of the seventh chakra are neutral in color because spirit, in essence, is neutral. Here you will receive messages from spirit that are detached from human worry. These cards indicate the higher minded thinking that happens when we align with spirit. The power of holding space can also be seen in the still energy of each card. Here you will see how conscious choice can bring you spiritual magnetism. These are the cards of mastery. And so I feel like that's what God wants you to know. You are, if you're in a place where I am, we're in mastery right now. We're in a place where we've done everything that we can do, and now we have no choice but to wait for God to deliver and to come through. This card of impartiality. This is not a time to personally shine, but to allow others to come forth with their gifts. You may find yourself in the role of the neutral advisor. Hold the space for others to find their own answers. Advice may not be well received. Be unbiased now. I quietly listen, allowing you to color your own palette. Bana is the wise dictator from the town of Beige. She is known for settling disputes fairly. One day, two neighbors are arguing about what color to paint their fence. Bana gets each of them a can of paint and instructs them to paint their side of the fence the color that the other neighbor wants. She knows that when they can color the world in the love of their neighbor's eyes, they will understand and accept one another. Take an impartial look at your situation. The action here is to listen and observe. If I step back from my present situation, what do I see? How can I be neutral? And so I feel like that's what God is asking for us to do in this moment. If you are asking God, how do I do the impossible? How do I make it through this area? How do I, ascend past this level, past wherever, past what my family has never seen? How do I break generational chains and generational curses? How do I make the impossible possible? And God is saying, step back from your present situation. What do I see? Can I be neutral? A neutral position, allowing things to unfold, standing in another's shoes, uplifted communication. And so I feel like what God is saying is, again, I think I was saying this in the beginning, instead of looking at your life from your point of view, from your perspective, look at it from God's eyes. And just as I was telling you, I feel like my job is so chaotic. It's the worst place in the world. But because of all the things, because my job is the way that it is actually so perfect for what I'm trying to do. And so my thing is to look at this situation impartial, and just really try not to get so caught up in where I'm at physically, and to just mentally take myself to a space where I can rise above my current situation, where I can rise above the constant honestly, I feel like this situation is teaching me how it's teaching me how to be disciplined and how not to, because I used to be the type of person, and guys, again, you have to walk with me as I'm doing this. I used to be the type of person that my mood dictates how much work and how much output I do. And so yesterday, my manager kind of said something that irritated me, and it made me not want to do no work. It made me just want to shut down. And I literally, for half the day, did shut down, but then I ended up doing yoga. I ended up doing a little bit of work and then starting to work on my book. I was able to recover myself. It's like the day started off fucked up, but I was able to pick myself back up because I remembered the tools that I had. And I remember what I'm really here to do. I'm not here to be at this job. Though this job is paying me, though I have to, clock in, I'm really not here to do this job. This job is here to help me do the life that I'm trying to create. And so it was like, I was proud of myself that I was able to recover from that moment. I was able to be like, oh, okay, let me just get back focused. And I feel like that's something that God is saying to us, just get back focused. Look at your present situation. What is it teaching you? What is it showing you? It's showing me that I don't want to have an environment. I don't want to have any type of work environment that is chaotic. I don't want to have any type of work environment where people feel like they can shit on one another or they can talk down on one another. I want a work environment where everybody feels seen, everybody feel valued, everybody feel like they can contribute their opinion. I want to be the type of boss where people feel like they can come to me and they can speak to me freely and they're not afraid of me. Like, I want to show people that you can get more honey and you can get people to support and be more loyal to you from loving them than being fearful of them. I want an environment where people don't feel obligated to come in from a 9 to 5, but they know that as long as they get their job done, they have the flexibility to come and go as they please. Like, this job is teaching me what type of work and what type of company I want to create. How I want to communicate changes, how I want, my employees to look at me, how I want my managers to be. Like, as frustrating as it is, it's teaching me what type of leader I want to be in the future, as well as teaching me how to show up and to do the work when I don't feel like it, how to do work and detach my feelings and to work without having the praise. Angel number 26. So God is asking you to step back from your present situation and to really look at what it's showing you. He's saying, have the inspiration, have the willingness to do the work and take an impartial view. So God, how can we have an impartial view? How can we just step back and do the work? How can we allow our inspiration to lead and not get caught up in the external circumstances? God, just give us one tool that we can use to help make the impossible possible. God, teach us how to live a spiritual life. God, teach us how to be like Jesus. God, teach us how never to doubt, never to second guess. God, just give us just one word, one beautiful tool to wrap it up. Allow no room for doubt or confusion. And the word is, I can see my eyes through the eyes of source. By choosing better feeling thoughts and by speaking more of what you do want and less of what you do not want, you would generally tune yourself to the vibrational frequency of broader perspective. To see your world through the eyes of source is truly the most spectacular view of life. For from that vibrational vantage point, you are in alignment with and therefore in the process of attracting only what you would consider to be the very best in the world. And so that's what I was telling you, along with I am directing the skill to do my thoughts. These actually work hand in hand. The most valuable skill or talent that you could ever develop is that of directing your thoughts towards what you want. To be apt at quickly evaluating all situations and then quickly coming to the conclusion of what you most want, then giving your undivided attention to that. There is tremendous skill in deliberately directing your own thoughts that will yield results that cannot be compared to mere actions alone. So that's what God's saying. The inspiration is that you can see the eyes through source, and the willingness that you have to do is have a willingness to direct your thoughts. So just like I was telling you yesterday, I may have started off the day being like, fuck them, but by the end of the day, I was able to recover and also to direct my thoughts. One other thing that I have been noticing is that I'm becoming more aware of my feelings. God wants us to use our feelings as the inspiration to recover the parts of ourselves that we want. And that's what he's saying. Look at the situation, and instead of focusing on a negative, focus on a positive and use that to catapult you to the life that you really truly want. Angel number 2222. And so what happened yesterday is, like I was telling you, I got frustrated, but it really made me realize, like, God, I want to be, and I want every area of my life to have peace. Even my job, even the people that I have to connect with on a daily basis. Like, I want to have peace in my life. I want to feel valued and to feel seen in every area of my life. Angel number 2855. When sometimes I'll journal and I'll allow myself to just complain, get it all out. And the next page, I'll turn that around and be like, oh, this is so amazing. I was able to get this opportunity where I'm with this job, that I have my own television show and I work 4 days a week and it gives me time to write. And I'm taking that anger and I'm redirecting it towards what I really truly want. God is saying you don't have to ignore your feelings. You don't have to shut it down. Your feelings are there for a reason. But what you can do is use those feelings to focus on what you do want and not on what you don't want. So another example is, you're feeling heartache. You feel like you want love. You feel like you're pissed that your ex-boyfriend left you. Instead of focusing on he left, blah, 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 you turn your attention and you say, oh my God, I met this guy who is so amazing. He sent me a text message every morning. He really listens to me. He's supportive of my dreams. Oh my God, the sex is amazing. Like, you can journal it. Use that sadness and fuel it towards the things that you really, truly want. Okay? God is saying we have the tools to make the impossible possible, but we have to have the willingness to follow through on the inspiration and to just do the work. I wish that it was more, but it really is as simple as that. All right, y'all. I'm not going to complicate it. I feel like this got longer than it needed to be. Angel number 3030. If this message was beneficial for you, please make sure that you like it and subscribe to the channel so you will never miss out. Until we meet again, dream those dreams. Never let the internet rush you, and never, ever let someone tell you what you cannot do. Namaste. I truly hope this helps you on your journey. And if you are feeling down or you're just feeling like the world is against you, I just want you to try to do one thing to shift your energy. That's turning up some music, that's dancing it out, that's writing a love letter to your future love, whatever it is. But just know that you have the power to take control of your life. Don't let this world get to you. You got it. All right, bye.